Gonna do a video here on how to get your power locks operational again on a 94 to 98 Land Rover Discovery 1. I just did the passenger front door. That power lock is now operational again. The issue was the actuator, and now I'll do the rear door. I didn't see a good video on this, so I figured I'd make one. First off, you got a bolt on each side. It's a 10 mil. And then a screw, so go ahead and get rid of those, and then you can pop this door card off. All right, got the two 10 mil bolts and the Phillips head screw all off. Now I'm going to pop this door off. The trick is to work your way around and pull out. There's no way around it. You're going to break some clips, I think, but there's a lot of clips, so you'll probably have enough intact, hopefully, to put it back together reasonably strongly. All right, just popped my door card off. As you can see, I broke almost every single clip, unfortunately. There's still just a few left along that side, so I'm going to try to glue some in on this side so I still get some structure. On the rear doors, you'll have the connector for the window control. You just push that out through here, and then you can remove that and pull it back out through. On the fronts, you don't have that, but you have little speaker wires, so watch out for those. Don't pull the card too far away from the door immediately until you deal with the wires. All right, and then once you got that plug out and your plastic removed, you can go ahead and remove the door lock actuator here on the rear doors. It's here. Just have these two screws and then the attachment point to the lock itself, and then the wiring. On the front doors, it's more like around in this area. You'll see the same plate just oriented straight upright. And again, just two screws, the attachment to the lock mechanism, and the wire. Go ahead and pull that out. All right, now I've got this door lock actuator pulled out of there. One thing you can do if you're not sure if your actuator is the problem is just go ahead and put a multimeter up on the connector for the door lock actuator and click your key fob, and if you see it spiking plus 12 for lock and minus 12 for unlock, or maybe it's the other way around, then you know you got power, and if your lock's not moving, this is your problem. Now these things cost like $200, and I got no idea why, because it's just a tiny electric motor inside of it, and that's the part that goes bad, and then there's some plastic and gears around it, which you can reuse, but it's a little tricky, so I'll show you how. All right, so inside of this is one of these. This is almost certainly the thing that's broken for you, the little electric motor. You can get them on eBay for a few bucks a piece. I bought a pair for $5. Here's my new one that I'm going to put in here. This is an old broken one from a previous one. You can see inside, magnet's cracked, and it's all gummed up. So there's no screws to remove, but the first thing you're going to want to do is peel back this rubber here and just flip that inside out on itself. Then over here there's this rubber stuff that encases the wires. Mine just crumbled away. I didn't worry about it too much. You could probably get away with just leaving it there. And then you're going to want to take a sharp knife, or you can slowly pry around with a screwdriver. You're just going to work your way around the seam, separating it the whole way around. Take your time. You don't want to crack the plastic case, and it's bonded really well with some kind of glue or something, and there's a lip, so it's held on there really well. You just got to work your way around, prying it open. It's not easy. Just make sure you get the gear on far enough that it spins freely. You can see this one is spinning freely. It's not touching the plastic above. To seat this one, I just put it in a vise. This end of the shaft here is the same shaft that comes out this side, so just line it up nice and straight, tighten up very gently and slowly, and that's all set to drop in there. And then with my wires, here we go. We're going pink on the left, orange on the right. I'll solder that off of this and onto this. All right, I got my wires burned into the new motor. I'm gonna take this thing, place it there. It clicks over. It's supposed to click over this when you lock and unlock, so you don't really need to worry about what side it's on. It'll correct itself eventually. Anyways, so set that appropriately. I'll put it about in the middle so that it can correct itself. And then you're going to put this back on. There we go. Make sure this can go in and out. It sure can. Now it's going to hold itself together a little with the screws that you put back through here, but I like to put wrap some tape around the outside because there is a bit of pressure that comes from those gears moving out that'll try to push it out. So give it a couple wraps of tape and then we're going to put it back in. All right, all back together. Got my tape on it. As always, installation is the reverse of removal. I'm going to have to get that around that little hook there. And that's going to take me both hands. All right, screws back on. This thing's around its hook and the wire's connected. So now let's test that the lock works. We've got down is locked to match the rest of the doors. Whoops. Accidentally just yanked that out. Okay, there we go. That's back in loosely. I'll just leave it hanging down. So if that goes up from there, then it's working. Nice. That's unlocked. That's locked. It's working. Okay, so now I'm going to put the rest of the things back together. I'm going to tidy up these wires, make sure they're hung on something so they don't interfere with the window moving up and down, and then put the door card on just the same as I took it off. All right, it's all back together now, and after about 30 minutes for each corner, if my fob will work for me, there we go. I've got 4 working power locks and 1 unreliable fob. So that's the fix. Hopefully I saved you a couple $100 by replacing just that little motor instead of the whole actuator. Thanks for watching.